Okay.
No, you ain't trying.
All right, all right, all right. You are live, and we trying to do this little thing right here, but seems like it doesn't want to go. But it's all good. We are just wanting to thank you. Oh wait, oh boy, it's been a minute. It's been very, very busy, and but thank God we're pushing through. So today, I do want to have a moment of silence. My family member, my granddaughter's father, just lost his father. So we want to keep the Glover family in our prayers. And then we also want to keep one of my cousin's sons have passed. So his name is Terrell, and the Glovers and the Anderson family in our prayers. And I want to thank God for being able to be in my right frame of mind and being able to be in the studio with you all, with family, and being able to do what we do. You know, we have to push through life, and we're grateful and thankful to that. But again, we want to thank you for tapping into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station, amongst other things. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sister B. Mellow and our other co-host and host brings to you every first Saturday of the month. It's called the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge. This is where you will hear 15 to 45-minute segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always ask you to vibe out to fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. The first part of the corner could be the Artist Talk. This is where we showcase musicians, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. The other part of the corner could be, the second part of the corner could be Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of brilliant minds today, along with our geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. The other part of the corner could be She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where you hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which are the inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting Golden Lights affirmations to impart healing medicine into the soul of brilliant minds today. Every second Saturday of the month is called the Medicine Hour. This is with Mr. George Pearson. He is the founder and producer of Education is the Best Medicine. However, he is a physician assistant, well, a PA. And a physician assistant, a PA. On that particular show, we cover health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness, healthy eating habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour. That is with the founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson, the PA. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c nonprofit charitable organization, which is a community-based health, education, advocacy-based, and resource-based organization that uses public media, resources, radio, newspapers, and church-based community health fairs to provide healthy information and education. What he believes is, we believe vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month is what you are listening to today. And that is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult radio show that comes to you every fourth Saturday of the month. And what we do, we highlight individuals in our communities and business owners, and we talk about the things that they're doing to promote and uplift themselves, their families, and our community. So we're so grateful and thankful to have our family members and community in here with us today. And what we do definitely always on the Eyes of the Conscience Soul, we have real talk conversations. So we again, we invite individuals, organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area, across the globe, to share their what they're doing today. And today's thing is called Who You Be, aka what sets your how do your gifts set the world on fire? And I want to say I'm grateful and thankful to have community, Sistah, and my brother in here with me on today. We're so grateful and thankful that you are here. And I want, starting off, introduce who you are, and then family, say kudos to the family, because we know we have folks that we're standing on, the shoulders that we're standing on. So the grandma, the aunties, the grandpa, because it's like, wait a minute, no, you didn't go on the show and didn't say anything about us, because it is very important that we make sure that we uplift our people. And I want to make sure that I get my sister. I'm gonna have you come in just a little bit. There we go. Hold on, let me just adjust this camera over here. Make sure I got you in. We got to see this beautiful face over here, and Kells is probably calling me on the cell phone. I'm hoping that he was able to make it. Again, as I say, that the show is about the guests. It's not about me, and I'm grateful and thankful to have this opportunity. Again, my brother and sister, thank you for being here on the show, the Eyes of the Conscience Soul, and the work that you're doing in the community and your family. I'm so grateful and thankful that we've connected over how many years? Maybe a good 15, a good 15, 17, 18, 15 years. So, you know, it's I'm so grateful and thankful to have you share your names, and then we're going to have you say kudos to the family, and then sis, we're going to have you chime in, and we're going to tag team this thing. You know how we do. You know how we do. Go ahead, brother.
My name is Siraj Fowler, from Oakland.
From Oakland. Hey.
Born and partially raised. Kudos to the family. You know, we have 4 children.
Oh.
Our oldest, Siraj, you know, entrepreneur.
Yes. And he was supposed to be here today, but he had some business to take care of. So he's like, right. Auntie, look, hey, and I'm like, it's all good. Handle your business. We'll talk about his business today, too. Thanks, brother. That's right.
And our daughter, Medina, is Tuskegee right now, handling her business.
Hey.
Woo woo. Yep. And our 10-year-old, awesome 8-year-old Nasser, handling their cousin business. Their cousin, their big uncle right now. So, shout outs to them, and, you know, of course, our mothers, our fathers.
Yes.
Our nieces and nephews.
Yes.
A slew of family this woman has, and in addition to myself. So we love them all, and we appreciate the support.
That's right. Sis, introduce your name and say, just say hello to the family too.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daaimah Fowler. And
I
want to say how grateful we are for you and the relationship and a familial spirit. You know, this has been fantastic. We have hit and misses in regards to everything that's going on and what we're building, but I certainly appreciate when we reconnect.
Oh,
it's like nothing that's ever been missed.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, sis.
That's right. So shout out to the family. And you mentioned the ones that came before. That's really important because we are Oakland natives. We have family that laid down a lot of groundwork before we even got here. So some of them, right, we might not have even known their full story, even though we're related to them, right? Because everybody's just living.
That's right. That's right.
So we have folk that are down in the African American Museum.
That's yours and mine. I thought that was Kells. Like he probably, oh my God. Curtis, if you hear me over there, go and see if Kells outside. I'm so sorry. But that's how we do. You know, we family. We gotta do it like that. Go ahead, sis.
Going to shout out to the family and having history in African American Museum here. That's how deep our family line runs through Oakland. From martial arts to politics.
Wow.
To
business
owners, musicians. Like we are.
I still can't see you.
Don't go here. Let me slide in.
Yeah. Go come over there a little bit, brother, until Kells get here. It's this part. It's yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. Now I can see you.
So we are deeply embedded in Oakland, and that's the reason why it's important to us to carry on that legacy and make sure that we're taking care of the next generation. Not only our relatives, but all of our community family as well.
That's right.
From Oakland and beyond.
Yes. Well, you know, it is so important that you say how our gifts are on fire. Is like you just said, there are people that came before us, and us as African American people need to not to forget that you have to raise them up too. You have to share, because I'm not who I am, who you be. I'm not who I be unless it was from my father and mother. You know, in Bayview in San Francisco, mother and father owned father and mother Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in the Bayview. You know, so I'm standing on their shoulders and the folks that came before them. So if I do them a disservice if I don't, you know, say, hey, because they paved the way.
That's right.
Just like our ancestors paved the way for us and for them. It's like, look here, I remember those nights of mom and dad being in business and being knowing, never let us knew that it was like tough times.
Right.
However, we did know in a sense, but we all had to pull in and take parts of different things. Absolutely. And we had to work together. Absolutely. As a team. And that's what we are doing here today. That's what you were saying with the family and uplifting them, is that it was a team effort. It wasn't just us getting here where we are by ourselves.
That's right.
So with that, I do want to, again, you're on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, and today theme is who you be, aka what gifts do you have that set the world on fire. So I do want to talk about your son first, and then we're going to transition on in. So the work that he's doing now, I want you to say his name and say the name of his company. And anytime we're going to make sure that you give out your information, make sure people can contact you. And we're going to go with him first, because this is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. Absolutely. And with that, we want to make sure that we highlight and honor him first. And as we move forward, and then we bring us in. So his name and what type of business that he created. And did you know, as he was growing up, I know we all go through our challenges, and I tell people all the time, good, bad, ugly, your challenging, your story counts. Right. And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Right. Because I tell everybody know my story, just about. I tell it because it's not for me anymore. It's to show that you can come from different things and different challenges, and you can get to where you really want to be, you know, all in alignment to our lives and our purpose of what we're supposed to do. Is, hey, so we go through all kinds of stuff. Absolutely. You know, ain't nobody got here just like perfectly by ourselves. Right. No, we didn't. I went, ooh, Miss B was a they were like, no, Miss B, you never. I'm like, oh, yes, I were. I was one of them selfish little girls at the time. But I thank God that I served my community now. Right. My father was like, oh no, you ain't. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead. Fine. Go ahead.
Okay. My son's name is Siraj.
Siraj.
Here, and the name of his company is Nexus Nights.
Nexus Nights. Okay.
So search him up. You know, Instagram, all platforms. He's out there.
Yeah.
You might have seen him by the lake, and I mean,
okay. Take care of business. Take care of business.
I mean, he's always been able to spot an opportunity. He's always been about, you know, business, and I mean, he's just on track to be a millionaire. You know, he's going to file his business stuff. You know, and ladies at the Oakland business officer, like, you know, what is his business stuff? Like,
right.
He's like, girl, you really like, you know, at least he's you know, not out there trying to just sell cars and, you know, do everything like
exactly
the rest of his peers are trying to do. He's trying to do something different that you know, makes him stand out. And I mean, he's always been about having some type of business. And so now with Nexus Nights, he just came and was like, hey, I think I'm going to do a, you know, an inflatable mobile club. You know,
okay.
Like, that's very unique. I've never heard of that
before. That's right.
That's the point. You know?
And there we go.
And when he came up with it and popped it up at the lake, and everybody, that passed by was like, what gave you this idea? And he's just like, he does his research, he tries to keep up with the latest trends. And he saw this as like part of the, college culture, where, when he was, away at school at Langston University in Oklahoma.
All right.
Like, when we have a party or get together, if we got shut down, we just, we go to a different dorm. You know what I'm saying? Or go to a different
and make
place.
it happen.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We had to be flexible.
Yeah.
In order to have a good
They
time.
pivoted. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They look her.
Where the other part? Where's the party at? And so he was like, in the essence of that, he's like, well, I'm gonna have a mobile club, So in the event that we have to move it somewhere else for weather or whatever the conditions are, like deflate it, and all right, we over here. Send the text out, let them know we're gonna be next.
Making it happen.
Make it happen, exactly. Different things that he'd have, and we'd give our opinion, and then he'd give his opinion, and he'd be like, I got to go with my gut on this.
Yeah.
And because he's also a person of faith.
All right.
The guy was speaking to him in different ways, uniquely to him, where he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Go through forward with this because your intentions are good. And I'm going to support you in this. There's not going to be any drama, not going to be any problems. That's exactly what it was. I'm ready to have a plan B. I'm going to drive over here and check on plan B,
Right.
Because I don't know if plan A is going to work, but you would have faith like, I don't have a plan B, plan A is the plan.
Yeah. All right, now sticking to forward, that is yes be yes and his no be no, and his conviction. Go ahead, brother.
Full steam with his plan, and it was successful. So I had to learn also to have more faith in him and the connection that he has with God.
All right, family. All right, family. This is what the conversation is about. We're talking about our young folks, how we support them, how they support us. And most importantly, you hear a father and a mother is sharing about how they moved with their child and with their young man, with their young adult now, as he's a young adult. The importance, and this is what the show is about, the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, is to bring information in that the different perspectives are very important for us to be open-minded to, because knowing it or looking at things one way, like he said, look here, it's mobile. What's called? What called name?
Mobile club.
Mobile club.
And that's what it was. I'm thinking back to my own father. Keep this short.
No. This is about y'all. This ain't we got this.
But,
Go ahead.
He's a natural born salesman. And so been selling cars over 40 years, but before that, he had his own clothing store downtown Oakland. Stores, right there near Yancey.
Right.
These are his peers, and so his father had to invest in his company.
That's right.
He had to believe in him in order for him to get to that next step. So I was like, well, who am I not to do the same thing?
Come on now. Come on now.
Tell me,
let's go.
He's got more hustle than you.
Right.
Right. I was like, all right, because
we just keep it real. There we go. Keep it real. This is what I'm telling you, when I'm up in here with these young folks, like Miss B. We who we be, we doing this, and I let them be them.
That's right.
They know they don't be cursing on the line now. I'm looking at them, you already know. But I let them be who they are, and I'm grateful that you just said what you said. It's like that, like, hey, this is him. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I had the time, because I try to plan certain things out, especially like in film production. If you don't plan a certain way, you'll run into problems. So you get paid to problem solve in a way,
right?
Just knowing there's going to be problems,
right?
It's right. Like, well, let's just do it. We'll figure out the problems as they occur. But how about I just start doing it now instead of like planning on what could possibly happen? Like, well, that's your generation.
Yep.
And that's how fast things are changing. You have to be one of my teachers in school, he wrote a book called Black Futurists in the Information Age. Kapra Ramseti was his name.
Right. And, say his name again.
Kapra Ramseti.
Okay. Is he still around?
California. He's still around.
Okay, give kudos out to him.
Peace to him. We haven't spoken in a while, but his book was inspirational.
Right.
Because this generation is the information age generation.
Say that, brother.
So we can't have our thinking be behind the times. Otherwise, we risk becoming extinct. I don't mean
you better. Can you say that once again?
You have to your thinking has to be aligned with the age that we're in, which is the information age. So you just keep having these industrial thoughts that are behind the times, and you risk being extinct. And I don't mean that you just dead floating off somewhere, but you might be economically dead You are spiritually dead because you're not up with the times.
Right.
And, you know, my wife's, you know, great auntie, she was still texting and Facebook and then on the 90 something, you know, and it kept her alive, you know, because she's with the time. She was, you know, she kept up with, oh, this is what's going on now. She's sending no telegrams, you know. Like,
sending little birds, sending birds.
You know, what we on Instagram, TikTok? Okay, that's what I'm on. You know, and it really kept her alive.
Right.
And so it's that same thing. Like, this is where the youth are headed. They are the future. And they're already tapped in.
Yeah.
You know, babies that are being born now already know how to navigate that. You know,
now you are absolutely right. My granddaughter, I'm sitting there watching her. I'm like, how do you understand? She is 11 months. Swipe.
Yeah.
How? What? Wait. Hold it. What? How are you doing this?
Right.
And she's sitting there looking at it and go. I'm like, oh,
it's already figured out.
My God.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
She came out with the instructions already. You know.
Wow.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like whenever in the film industry, whenever we have a new device or light that comes out, it has to have this new technology a part of it. Otherwise, it's not efficient and it's not going to work. You know? And so, same thing with these kids. We have to, you know, believe in them. You know, we have to believe what God has given them naturally.
Yeah.
And that they are the future. They're taking us where we need to go. So you never fail with believing in your child, you know, or believing in this generation.
Yeah.
As much as they frustrate us. But,
say that because we frustrated ours too.
Right.
They frustrate us, you know, from time to time. You know, it's only out of love.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to step in any of the pitfalls we might have, you know, fell in ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, man, fall forward.
Fall forward. Come on now.
You know, but yeah, Nexus Nights, you know, check him out. He's gonna be around for a while.
Okay.
So
go ahead, sis. Oh yeah, no, you can add all of what you need to add.
It's not only a mobile club, but he has a party plan business. So he has anything that you need to make your party successful, from lighting to inflatable couches and the movie screen, and he does quite a few different things.
Yeah,
I want to go into what you said that is so important and who he was from birth. He came out this way.
Oh my God.
He was in my stomach like that. He never sat still for a moment. He was tap dancing in my gut. And he came out and never quit moving. He's always been busy. He came out a man.
Wow.
And with that comes the headache.
Yeah.
So I was so afraid for him because he's an African-American male in Oakland. And I just was constantly thinking about his safety.
Right.
And I had to learn him and how to relax and navigate around him and really pay attention to him being held back in the world that we're in.
Come on.
Because God gave him the spirit.
That's
for him to move forward and be a man. I'm holding him back.
That's good, sis.
And he doesn't have the fear that we have.
Right.
And I remember hearing
come on now.
So a child has to be taught, though.
That's right.
They come out doing all of these different things. There was a brother speaking about what you instill into your child. Just a little bit, brother. And making sure that they understand.
If you need that chair over there, look, kickback king. Look,
right.
We got the king and the queen up there.
Wait, how we go? You got us good in the camera?
Yeah. Okay, now it's good. Okay. There we go. I can see you perfect.
Okay, good. Okay.
There we go.
So I
see both.
Okay, good. I felt like if I didn't have him on a certain path and making sure that he was being chock full of religion, that I was going to lose him.
Yeah.
And so I once I started to really pay attention to how he grew, then I kind of backed up a little bit, and that wasn't an easy path.
Right.
That didn't happen really. He's 22 now. That didn't happen until he was 20.
Right.
Because he was driving us crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so he was going.
That's what I'm talking about. I want the community to understand that there were challenges.
Absolutely.
And then that's the grit and like what made you mentally shift and pivot to help him ground himself, and how you helped shape him into what the man he is and what he's doing. And that's important.
It really is.
That is so important to be able for community to understand and hear that.
Absolutely. I agree. Because I didn't know at first. To pretend like I had it all figured out would be a lie.
Come on.
So this is daily. I remember standing in the doorway at night and crying, just looking at him and wanting to be okay. And then he said to me one day, getting in trouble in school, it was always things that were out of the ordinary. He wasn't fighting. He'd be doing something like calling himself helping the teacher teach.
Right.
Or signing his own
He's
document.
a genius.
Right, exactly.
He's a brilliant mind.
Exactly.
That's my nonprofit, BH Brilliant Minds. He's a brilliant mind. Go ahead.
He is. I have this quick story to tell about
No,
him.
tell.
We picked him up from school one day. We came early, and it was God that had us go early.
Right.
We see his teacher from, at this time, when he was in the fourth grade.
Right.
He was in fourth grade, and it was his kindergarten teacher. And he's got a clipboard in his hand.
Oh my Lord.
And she's on her knees, and she's going like answering questions. And we said, something's not right.
Right.
What is he doing with the clipboard? So we found out that he got in trouble in class. And then the gentleman in the after school program, it was what's the name of the after school program? Ujima after school program, ran by all black males. So it was fantastic.
And when are they still around?
They're still around.
Okay, give their information if you had. What was the name of it again?
Ujima. I gotta get more.
But it's okay if you just know the name and people can Google the name.
Yeah. Ujima after school program, and they've been there for years at a number of different sites. At that time, it was Lakeview, Burkhalter.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure who all they have now.
Yeah.
But it was a phenomenal program.
Yes.
Because it kept those kids in check. Especially I needed that for him. So when our eyes aren't on him, there's other eyes that we know are going to put.
That's the village.
That's the village.
That's the village
that's missing, that we need to make sure that it comes back.
Yes.
And it stays where it's supposed to be.
That's right.
So he knew that once he got down there, he was going to be in trouble because the teachers give reports. So he went down to the Ujima room, and he took the clipboard, and he went to every class because they have a point system.
Right.
So if you get a 1, that means you had a fabulous day.
Right.
If you get a 4, you were terrible.
Oh,
so
Lord.
what he wanted to do was give himself a 1. And so he was like, well, if I could give myself a 1, I got to do everybody's.
Right.
So he went to every class and told them, hey, I'm on duty today to get your scores. You know, how's young Johnny today? He was getting her scores, and she's just, jotting it down to him. I turned him in because I had enough of him. I said, this is what you're doing. I took him to the principal's office. And I said, I've had enough. I need you guys to pay closer attention to what he's doing. There was another teacher in there. I swear, she dropped her coffee cup. She said, oh my God. She said, I was one of those teachers. I gave him all the information. She said, I'm not trying to make light of this, but this boy's going to be a politician or something when he gets. So she said, I had no reason to question him. He looked official. He had a clipboard. He had the whole speech down.
Now, to hold that space right there, family, community, this is what we're trying to say, and we're trying to give different perspectives and share. Don't just if they're on your nerve, like they get on the nerves, try to figure out, like you just said, see what they're actually doing and cultivate that. That's right. Help mature and nourish that. And because us as adults can see, this may be a politician, this may be a doctor, this may be a scientist, a lawyer, this, that. Right. So it's going to be our responsibilities to look at them and capture what they're doing and try to associate it. And I do my students like this. I tell them this all the time. I say, what you should do is go back and you pull up an ancestor that you have the same traits of that ancestor. Right. Learn about how they moved through the earth and through this world. And that there will also help guide you on. Oh, that's Kells. Hold on for 1 second. Right off. Family, y'all know how we do. Let's hold on for 1 second. You just keep talking, sis. Share about what you were saying about the and I'm going to have him.
Okay. So I'm just talking about how important it is to support your children, and really, even after you check them, whoop they behind, and shake them up a bit, or have to go sleep on them and say a few prayers, then you have to really go back and see what they want to do in life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything like a doctor or a lawyer. They might want to just, drive garbage trucks. They might want to do sanitation work. And we need those jobs. We need these people. We need everybody in the environment in order for everything to work properly. And that's what we had to do. We had to make sure that we were supporting him with something that he would really thrive at. Because if they're not happy, if they don't feel good about what they have going on, then they're not going to be successful. So whatever it is, as long as it's positive, as long as it's helping build the community, as long as it's helping beautify the community, then we need to get behind our kids and make sure that they get everything that they need. Since Ms.Barbara stepped out, I want to continue on and say how proud I am of him for the man that I see him turning into. He's 22 He made 22 in July, and I see his growth. I see him. I see him thriving. I see the different things that he's aligned for himself and his vision for what he wants to have in the future coming into fruition, and being grateful for how he was raised and what we gave to him. And I believe that him going away from home to college and mingling with other students from all across the United States and sometimes out of the country allowed him to be able to have more appreciation for the type of family that he has and where we came from. Okay. And it helped tremendously to make sure that you instill God into your children.
Yeah.
You know, and we're Muslims and our families have a Christian and Catholic background, and we do a lot of interfaithing. That means that we're not afraid to talk to our brothers and sisters of another religious background. We respect everybody, and we give the same respect in return, because it's all about putting God first and making sure that we're doing what we need to do for the community. I think that's another reason why we have such a wonderful relationship with Ms.Barbara, aka Be mellow, baby. Yeah. Yeah, but this is it's been a nice experience watching him grow and getting into his own. And I just have to say, like, never give up on your kids. Never give up on them, because they're gonna be here, God willing, long beyond us. And trying to establish something to give them a strong foundation is extremely important. You got anything else you want to add to that?
What you said. No, I was going to say that, even off of that incident that you shared, there'd be a lot of teachers, a lot of administration that would try and cast your child.
Yeah, say that.
They'll try and cast them because you got to remember that it's your network. This is your show.
Yeah.
I cast my son as being successful. I cast him as being an entrepreneur, and I want him to cast himself, as being a protagonist, being the hero of his own story.
Say that again.
They'll try and cast him and make him the villain in a story that's his. And I guess that's kind of why I tripped off of this one play called Wicked, because all these years watch Wizard of Oz, you're looking at this witch. Way. I guess I could appreciate a different writer being able to step in and recast a character that you already thought was locked in stone as a villain, and there's always a backstory that everybody has, to make, other human beings empathize with how they, became how they became, and so we speak life into him, we speak success into his endeavors, and we cast him as the hero, I don't know, I think I would hope that every father would feel that way about their son. Good. Like, my son is one of my heroes. He has attributes that I wish I had when I was his age. Attributes that I respected and valued at that age that I didn't even have.
Right.
And he came out having these things. Being in the third grade, and he's hey, his sister and his mother go to the bathroom. He's like, I'm new in his life, and he's just like, hey, this is how we got to stand.
I am done.
I was like, hey, you, this little person. I was like, I didn't know he was almost a black belt.
Yeah.
See who Bill Owens, his uncle. And
Yay, that's so
special.
special.
Shout out Costco's martial arts.
Yes.
Yeah, he's over here trying to teach me how to protect his mother and his sister. I was like, man, I'm in the picture to alleviate, some of what you done put on yourself. Ain't like anybody put this on you. Now you be a little soldier.
Right.
As a young man, felt that in his soul that this is what I have to do for my mother and my sister. I have to protect them, and this is going to be how I move in doing that. If you're going to be a part of this is how you're going to have to move in doing that. So I had to learn from him how he did things, and he's yay high.
Right.
1 minute I'm carrying him in the house and putting him in the bed. He's like, well, exercise.
Right.
But he's also he's the lieutenant. He's the chief in command. And I had to humble myself and be like, like Joseph and
that's right.
And Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a little dude who's talking, from the cradle, and I've been told that he's, very important to this world, and I have to humble myself to listen to it, while teaching him,
Right.
teaching this carpentry.
That's right.
I was like, but he's got a message for the world, and I have to like listen and understand and humble myself, for my own benefit and for who he's supposed to be.
Right.
So it was very, very much a very unique, not an original, but a unique situation to have to take direction from you.
Yes.
While giving direction to you.
Exactly. And that's where people have a problem.
Yes.
Is that one thing that, my students that they love about me too. I tell them I could be professional when it's that time, and I can be myself and have fun.
Right.
And teaching them to be able to balance that is important. You don't have to be an adult all the time, even though we gonna be respectful. It's how you approach them and how you demand and how you get your respect. So even when you're being a kid and still having fun, they still have a line they know not to draw. And I'm saying that because I am one of the founding teachers at the Homies Empowerment Freedom School. So with that, when you were just talking in our circle of what we have for our kids, they have all these tendencies as a warrior, the healer, the hustler, and the scholar. So and sometimes they're all of that, and they have all of these things in them. So as we were talking about earlier, is that to look at your kid, captivate what you think that they may be doing and where they are. And what we do in that time, we tell them when they're in their learning environment or wherever they are at this moment, are you being a hustler? Are you being a healer? Or are you being a scholar? Are you being in all of those things, and a healer? So with that, how do you move through this earth? And your baby coming out and my granddaughter coming out, they're already these things. They're already have those characteristics, not things. They have those characteristics about them. And as you were saying earlier, it's about being able to listen and being able to, at that time, listen to what they're saying, learn from them too, and vice versa. That's
strong communication.
Strong communication. Come on, sis.
And we didn't even like a lot of these things are now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because one like really ready to kill him.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah.
To save his life.
Right.
And so like it's a lot of reflection involved.
Say that.
And you have to know how to apologize.
That's right.
And what you're saying, listening, and then him having to listen to us as well, because it's a separation in the age. I'm old school.
That's right.
And there's certain principles that we have in place that I feel like these kids cross the line.
Yes.
And just really paying attention to all of what they're being faced with out there is completely different than when I grew up.
And so I tell them, I give you kudos.
Exactly. So showing respect to that and really listening and saying, okay, maybe it's not that I felt like my parents when they thought everything that we did was crazy.
Right.
So I try to reel it back in, because when you're actually going through the motions, you can't see from the outside. Sometimes you have to step out of yourself and breathe. Yes. And say, well, let me know what's going on with you. Right. Our communication now is so much better. We've always tried to reach him, but
that's right.
You can feel shut down when because it was at him.
Right.
And of that. He is not. He's really good being calm and patient and just checking everything out. Well, I'm a mother. I pushed him out. And it's like, I want you to stay alive. Right. Before, and this is old school. Before they get you, I'm gonna get you.
That's right.
You're not gonna go out there being disrespectful. You're not gonna make us look like no fools.
Come on.
You're gonna show them how you were raised, and you're gonna do well. Yeah. But his well is not our well.
That's right.
And so even with aspirations that we have, knowing how brilliant they are, you could see them being a doctor, you can see them being a lawyer. That might not be in the books for them.
Exactly.
You got to pay attention to what they like to do. It doesn't take away from
and that's why I was saying to make sure that you look at those are just things that they could be.
That's right.
However, look at that part and then make those connections for them.
And what's our definition of
and
success?
What's our come on now.
Everybody's is different.
Everybody ain't gonna be no lawyer. Everybody's not gonna go to school.
That's right.
Everybody's not gonna go to college.
That's right.
Everybody is not going to be able to, but it does not take
away.
away. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. It does not take away from who you are.
We have to support every single thing they want to do. When you stepped out of the room, I was talking about it doesn't matter if you wanted to be a sanitation worker.
Come on.
It was a little.
And that's what we don't want people to start looking, and that's the key.
No.
And because that's what society is doing, looking down at you.
You can't do that.
As though
every single person in that organization to make that thing run successfully.
Come on.
You have to show respect from
Come
the
on.
vendor up to the CEO.
That's
it's
right.
Just that serious.
That's right.
So what will we do if this toilet got backed up?
That's
got
right.
Everything stinking up.
You better say
we
that.
want to be able to conduct this interview. We need every single person on deck
That's
do what
right.
they're supposed to do and take pride in their job and respect
That's
them
right.
as such. You know,
that's right.
It's just that serious.
Yes.
So who are we to frown upon any position?
Come on.
Because everybody has a different definition of what success is.
That's
the
right.
generation before us
Did.
it was being safe.
Yeah.
It was having property.
Yes.
It was making sure they wasn't getting hung.
Speak.
Then we move on to the industrial age and there's more money. Then we move on to everybody going
Speak.
to college. Then we move away from God. Then we got to go back to these roots. These things are important.
Yes.
And so none of it should be removed. We have
That's
to respect
right.
where everybody is coming from and the growth,
That's right.
you know, and the history.
Yeah.
They all are important, you know.
Yeah.
This child has sent this through the ringer.
Right.
It's been a learning process because
Yes.
nobody had the handbook.
That's right.
But so the whole while I'm going through, like I know the principles, right? To keep you fed, to keep you safe, to give you religion, to give you love,
yes.
to talk to you. So then and then go back, circle back and say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do that right. I'm not perfect.
And
I'm just trying to save you.
That there is a must.
Yeah.
You have to say when you're wrong.
Yeah.
You can't, or I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going to, and that was one thing with I'm not going to pretend.
That's right.
And I tell people now, I'm not going to get in your lane because I don't know nothing about that over there.
That's right.
Okay. And it's going to be more of a challenge. And then I'm going to mess up some stuff
Right.
because that's not my lane. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a something for them to do.
That's right.
So it's not for me. I tell the students, and we talked about this the other day, is I tell the people, I don't believe in competition.
Right.
I believe in collaboration.
Absolutely.
Because you got what you was birthed on this earth to do, and I have what I have, but we can come together.
That's right.
And we can work together.
Even if they're similar.
Even if it's similar, it don't make, yes.
Right. We make it work.
We make it work. And I'm so grateful that this led us into what I want to ask next. But before I go that, I got to pay the bills. I want to thank you for tapping into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station amongst others. So please tap in and go online and pull up Believe Radio, and you can see all of what we do. I definitely want to thank you again on the Believe Radio, the Eyes of the Conscience Soul with Sister B Mellow and all our other hosts. Rose, we have The Voice, we have the Doc, and we have the Prince of Hearts, and then we have Kells, and then we have who am I missing? I want to say kudos to all of them for their hard work and their vision and the things that they bring to the table, you know, and I have the young folks with me. Yeah. You know, I'm like, look, that's why I tell them that I don't live for me anymore. I live for you all. That's so right. Whatever my platform is, I know that my platform is to bring families, bring community, bring folks, tell me what you do, who you be.
Right.
You know, that's my job. That's my responsibility. And I've taken that on, but I was taught that through my family business in the Bayview. You know, my dad, he was telling me he made sure that we took care of our community. He said, I don't care. And I say this all the time. He said, I don't care if anybody walks in these doors with a penny or nothing to billions of dollars. You better treat them all the same because everybody has a purpose. And that was my motto, you know, and I tell what had happened with me in my life. I had a teacher tell me that I would never, ever be anything in life. Mm-hmm. Brought me in front of the whole class and told me that. And I vowed that there would, and I went into a spiral. And that's what I'm saying. There was some crazy stuff that I did and the whole nine. But the most important thing is that I made sure I said, I pray that if I had anybody that's in my presence or that I'm working with, would never feel the way I feel.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I said to myself, and if I did hurt somebody, I'm sorry.
Right.
You know, I asked for forgiveness. Please, you know, in the moment, it depends on what it was going on. You know, we don't know how it got started or whatever the case may be, but we can, with that, I was also leading into what you said earlier about your child. I just had a conversation with my daughter and I was sharing with her. Now she's a young adult. now, and she has a baby.
Mm.
So I said one thing. Thank you. I'm a nana now. Lord, I'm a 60-year-old nana. However, thank you. What I share with her, and this was important that we want community to know. That's what you're saying. Listen. So I was sharing with my daughter is that there's two things. You're my daughter, but then you are a young woman.
Right.
But then what happens with the young woman piece? I'm your mom. I'm going to be able to tell you what you want to hear and what you may not want to hear. As a woman, as a mature woman, as we have conversations, be ready for what you may hear that you may not want to hear. But as a woman, as a young woman, you have to accept that and you have to move on. And how does it help you in your life? You know, and this is what we taught our kids, and this is what you're teaching your children. But with that, time flies as we're having fun. I do want to ask you, after I didn't even give all the doggone kudos to what I was supposed to be doing on here, but it's okay. After I do that piece, I want to ask you, tell me about you all's business and what you're doing, how people can connect with you. And now this part is all about you. But then again, we want to thank you for tapping into the Eyes of the Conscience. So with Sister B Mellow and my other co-host, as I went off to somewhere else, but you know how we do. It's called every first Saturday. It's called the Cafe Le Blue Lounge. It's where we have the artist talk, why I dream, she who believes takes off the mask. And then every second Saturday is called the Medicine Hour, and that is with Mr. George Pearson. And then we have the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult. The third Saturday is Education is the Best Medicine. And that is the founder and the coordinator of Mr. George Pearson. And then the fourth Saturday is today. We have the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult radio show. And then we added a fifth show, and it's for reentry and mental wellness. So we are having conversations around that. And Mr. Kells, that was going to be here today. Yes. However, he had the different things he had to do. But however, God works it out, and it's all good.
That's right.
Just making sure we catch him on the next round. So with that is and then like I said, he works with the social media, and that's why meet the family. But again, we want to thank you all for tapping into the Eyes of the Conscience. So, and with that, the share about your business, how you got started with the business, and what are you doing now?
You want to go first? Black Line Media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I've always, dating back to high school, I always liked making videos. Remember my cousin even worked at Pizza Hut. He had an account at Rent-A-Center.
Yeah.
He got a camcorder just because, I guess. He was like, hey, you want to use this camcorder? I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know what I was about to use it for, but like that same week, our teacher was like, hey, you can write a paper about the story we just read.
Whoa.
You can do a video about it. And we were just like, video?
You done said the magic word.
So we were like, be kind and rewind, man. We was doing videos on every story we read, man, just making it funny and then just having a good time. And between business classes, started taking TV and mass communications classes. And it was like kind of okay, well, I'm gonna choose a path, and the TV kind of spoke to me in a different way.
And the name of the business?
Black Lantern Media.
Black Lantern.
Yeah, just because a lantern, Siraj means a lantern in Arabic.
Oh wow!
So it means to shine, or something that shines, and blackness absorbs light.
Yes.
So I wanted it to be something that it can absorb light and also give it off.
Yes.
So absorb light, take it in, and also get it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that cycle of things is what thoughts were going into the business.
Right.
So if somebody tells me what their idea is for a video or some content they want to create, I take that in, and it goes into the lantern. We work it out. Put my own, creativity onto it.
Yes.
So like I have some type of eye for design.
Yes.
And I've been watching movies since before I started grade school. I was trying to watch Thundercats, and I go to the bathroom because these old movies kept being on. You know what I'm saying? Like this Turner Classic Movies, and I'd be like, man, you're gone with the wind. And I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, come on, Shane and
Right.
Old Yeller. And Citizen Kane. So I started being like, I'm missing my cartoon. I'm trying to watch Thundercats.
Right.
I'm missing my cartoons. So I might as well just sit down and watch this movie because it comes on like right as the movie ends when my cartoon come on. So
right.
Let me just start watching these movies. And I started liking a lot of them. So when I went to film school, I found that I'd already seen a lot of these films that they recommended us watch when I was just a little kid with my grandmama watching me before I could even start school.
Oh, so the film school had you watch those shows.
Well,
now look at that.
Being at home, being like 4 or 5 years old had me watching the films.
Yeah.
Film school was just like, watch these again. I was like, I already watched them before I could read and write. I hadn't seen this stuff, so my film education came in at a very young age. So even then, you kind of reconnect to what we call your fitra. Fitra is like your human nature. It's like, before you were assigned a body, your soul had to admit that to the oneness of God. Had to admit to the greatness of your creator before you were even assigned the body. And so it's when you hear the word of God, it's like you are remembering. You come back to your memory of when you were created. It's just like something clicks.
Right.
I'm like, that's right. Oh, that's right. I'm a believer.
Right.
Any of these things that the world tells me I am.
Right.
I'm a child of God. I'm the best creation, and you remember that when you hear the word of God. You meet other, believing individuals, who also remember their greatness. And so that's where it was. I was like, oh, I am a film student. I'm a filmmaker, and just trying to find the time to connect all those dots, to make a film. And people out there always trying to search for content, trying to search for the next thing they can do a film on, and I was there when my wife received the revelation for DNA, for discovering new adventures. Like, we need to do a game show, because we're trying to, and she can go more into that. But it was a thing of there being a void,
Yes.
Our children, like I said, the information age. And finding all these jobs I would go on in the film industry, working for different corporations and doing their commercials, I would see a lack of us in these spaces of Google, and Facebook, and all these different places with tech, where it leads to generational wealth.
Yeah.
And just keeping up with the time. Your kids are using these things.
Right.
But they may not necessarily have a stake in ownership of the
Gotcha.
because they're not in those rooms where these things are being designed. And so do you know even how this works? What information is collected of yours? Do you even have a say?
Right.
And so that void is what led us to, creating and being inspired to create, DNA, which is an outlet to get kids excited. And
yes. I was over there going like, all right. I'm like, look at her. We got to have them on the show. Love young folks. We need them on the show.
Yeah, like, nobody wanted to be, like, I remember my father saying that. He's like, man, back in the 70s, man, the absolute worst thing you could be was a square. It was the worst thing you could be.
Now.
Wear it up, like, yeah, so a lot of these kids feel the same way. Like, oh man, you answering questions in class,
Right.
Yeah, I got the answers,
Yes.
So like Black Panther, made them excited to be involved in technology and science. And
that's the school's built off of.
Yeah, you have a character that's portrayed, and knowing these things.
Yes,
it's cool to be smart.
Yes,
like, your smarts and your intelligence equates to strength.
Yes,
I'm saying it equates to empire and community building. So it connected a lot of those dots for our youth in a way that they may not have been reading comic books before then. But I built my vocabulary off of reading comic books.
That's right. That's right.
A big word.
Okay.
Find what that is. Man, we had dictionary. I could just go flip through the dictionary. These big old books, trying to find out what that word was. But it's like I built my vocabulary.
Right.
With these stories. Shout out to Stan Lee. I appreciate the characters he created. Because they added to me. And so that's what we're trying to do. Trying to add to these kids. Make it STEM, interesting to them again, and making it fun and cool to them again, and they have a part of it, they have a history of it, with their ancestors and what they did, so, you're just reconnecting to your spiritual DNA,
Period.
So, what he's talking about Black Letter Media, so it became official. He and I both have a history of production
Yes.
Right. From our early childhood.
Yes.
We really want to be into that. So not even knowing each other, these are the areas that we grew
Wow.
in. So our marriage was a different type of union.
Yeah.
Because we created together.
That's right.
You know, and so
and that's what this show is about. Bring creative, your creativity.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That's why I said how do your gifts set the world on fire?
That's exactly right. You know, we keep
who you be
gasoline on a little bit at a time.
That's right. That's right.
But so we've had Black Lantern Media for 14 years now.
Yeah, congratulations.
It's a total blessing because it sustains our family.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, we launched DNA as a subsidiary of Black Lantern Media. It was actually the production of it. And that's what he was talking about in regards to the vision that came. It was just from God. Like, it's time for us to start building on this.
That's right.
And that portion of DNA actually came from our son Siraj, because he was in a STEM program that was supposed to be for people of color, but I keep seeing going in another direction each year that was going by. And one of my nephews was saying to him, looking at what he was involved in, like, man, you lucky. I wish I was a part of that. I didn't like that. That bothered me because I'm not just the mother of my children. I'm the mother of the community.
Yes.
And if my baby's not all right, I mean, their peers are not all right, then they're not all right, and I'm not all right.
That's right.
And it bothered me to that degree. It was something that we had discussed before. Like, what if we created something for their homeschool program? To go over different topics and things, right, in a very fun way, just like he said, to make it cool.
Yeah.
Because we know, first of all, now everything has to be instant gratification.
Yes.
So we want to give them something that they're completely into. And all of these conversations, all of the work that he did, not seeing any of us, and all of these huge buildings that he's going in and maintain this work.
Yes.
What do we do to get there when we have a large history in it? And it is to empower them and let them know their history. And let them find out about all of the scientists, the chemists, the artists that came long before them that actually built the United States through ingenuity.
Come on.
And being tired of taking care of massa. And how can I make my job easier? This is where we get all of these different inventions from.
That's right.
It's from Black folk being tired of the heavy weight and making our job a bit easier.
Right.
When we didn't have the resources to be able to put those things in our name. They stole our inventions. They got rich off of them, and it leaves us in debt. But really, it's what we created. We have to take pride in that. So we want to make sure that these kids are getting that in a very fun way. So we set up everything in the living room, and our tiny living room on green screen.
Right.
And we put the show together, and because we had certain nieces and nephews there with us on lockdown, everybody was involved. We told them what we wanted to do, and that's the beauty of the youth.
That was
board instantly.
That's the video that I watched. I was on the no way
in our living room.
Ms.Barbara, no way. I believe it because we creative,
right?
I believe it because we'll make something out of nothing.
Exactly.
I know that to be true.
That's the other reason.
That's pulling out the genius inside of you and the brilliant mind. Oh
Thank you.
I know we can, but that was absolutely amazing. Before you go further, how can they contact you all?
www.famdna.com or www.blacklanternmedia.com. You can go to either site. They're all connected. You can see our packages.
Yes.
You can see the history of our companies.
Yes.
And the work that we have going on now.
Yes.
And different ways that we're creating in the community and how to be involved.
Yes.
Famdna.com, blacklanternmedia.com.
Because I was watching the videos and I'm like, oh, this is dope.
Thank you.
And the beauty about when it's your gift, it shines through.
Absolutely.
It's like you were talking about, you were telling your child to be unique and be different.
That's right.
That's the key. And I've always told my students that.
Yes.
Be different, be unique. What is your lane? What is your purpose? Because it oozes through.
That's right.
What you're doing. And I tell you, when I watch those videos, I can feel the uniqueness. I can feel the love. I can see it. It's on a whole different level.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not just ordinary.
Yes.
It is extraordinary.
Thank you.
And I looked at, I was like, whoa. And then what the kids was doing, the actual videos for the young men, when you did the videos for them doing their singing, rapping, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the one for in Hawaii, I was like, oh, wait, whoa, yay.
Yeah, see.
You were able to feel you.
Yes.
It was a presence of, and I always look up because the ancestors are speaking to me, people like, they know I ain't crazy. Right. However, I'm tuning in.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can feel that is your purpose. That was what you were born to do.
Come on with it, man.
That's what you was born to do. That's what the bottom line is, that was what you were born to do.
I have to say, I'm beyond excited.
Yes.
For you to praise us in this way, because we don't get that enough.
Yes.
And I'm a very humble spirit.
Yeah, and you are. Both of you guys are.
Yes. And I feel like I'm over it now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean when
I know what you mean.
We've been getting beat down. You would have thought we came with something dirty. The lack of support we were getting for all this work that we put in with these kids.
What you mean?
It's been a long road.
Yes.
I almost said Ms.Barbara, but I want to say you.
You can call me that. You can call me that. You can call me Ms.Barbara.
No, I want to say Mellow, baby.
Sistah, be mellow. Yes, it is.
On a side note, we're gonna need some cheesecake the next time you come up here.
And you know what we're thinking about? I'm not gonna take away from y'all show because we only got like 5 more minutes. Doggone it.
All right,
but y'all will be back.
Nice.
You guys will be back, and this is not the first, it's not the last, because like I was saying, that's my responsibility. Yeah. My responsibility. This is just not my platform, and I tell people all the time, it's not about me. I'm grateful to have the vehicle, to have the vessel to do what I do, and however I can do what I do, it is my responsibility. And that's how I look at things. People I'm like, I know this is my purpose.
Right.
You know, amongst other stuff that God gives me to do. And I'm like, Lord,
I have to tell you, I'm so happy for your purpose, because you do it well. And you serve in the community. And we are so grateful for you.
Thank you.
You know, it's a big deal. And I'm proud. And we were talking about this the other day too, is taking ownership of what you have going on. If you don't do that, you can't fully appreciate it. Yes. And then it also, if you were that type of person, it stops you from hating.
Yeah.
When you looking at it like, that's me. You know, be mellow is me.
Yes.
Everything she is successful with, I'm successful with.
Come on, sis.
Whatever you produce is what we produce.
Come on.
It can't be any other way.
No.
And that's how we stay successful. And that's how we grow as a community.
Yes. And that's how we were.
Yeah.
And that's what you were talking about, bringing it back. We need to not follow other people's blueprint.
That's right.
We need to get back to our blueprint of how we got down in our communities, how we supported each other. Yeah. And then when we do that, then our young folks will see what we do and how we do. They ain't hearing us talk about nobody.
Oh, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And I'm not tearing your business down to build mine up. I'm not doing that. That happened to my parents. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to let y'all go back with this. It angered me so. And my mother told me, she said, Barbara, because I was younger and I seen people talk about my parents in the whole 9 to get people to come to their business.
Right.
Tear my parents down, and then they talk, and then they come to our, you know, for them to go somewhere else. Right. And my mom told me this. She said, let me tell you something. People gonna talk about you all the time. However, the thing about it, you don't get angry. Don't worry about it. Because God gonna take care of that. That's right. Well, you do just what you say. You do what you're supposed to do and do it your best.
That's right.
Don't worry about that. Because she said, now, just like this, she said, there's a corner, everybody on the corner stores everywhere. She said, everybody gonna choose which corner store they want to go to. Because they all got the same ice. And I said,
right.
And I said, okay. And then I start understanding as I start moving through this. And that's why I said, again, no. And I'm glad you said that. When you shine, I shine. When I'm on fire, you on fire.
Yes.
And this is how we're supposed to continue to uplift each other up. Absolutely. And that's how our creativity comes.
That's right.
You know?
Even be mellow.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, I love it. It relaxes me just to say it.
Hey. All right now.
Even if we sold the exact same thing.
If
I decided to open up a cheesecake store next year, it ain't gonna taste like yours.
Right.
It's gonna be different. You're gonna have your own twist to it, and we could collaborate.
Yes.
I send you business. Maybe you made a strawberry in just the right way.
Yes.
That I could not pull off. I'm gonna send people to you for that special strawberry cheesecake.
Yes.
Because I don't do that. I do peach.
That's right.
And my sister over there got what you need.
Yes.
That's how it's supposed to be. If we stop being afraid of supporting each other and loving and seeing what somebody else has going on. Oh my God.
That is it. I know we got to have some more of this conversation. Okay, we got 1 more minute. So I want you all to just do parting words to the community. What would you like to say to them? Again, Make sure they get your information, all your social media, everything you need for them to get in contact with you.
All right, you can search this up on YouTube, FAM, FAMDNA. You'll see like a little double helix, new double helix, and you'll notice us for all our episodes, music videos, and then Instagram. It's DNA._FAM, to find us on Instagram, and also a link to our videos and different things.
And the website is the
You have anything before you go there? You have anything coming up?
We're pretty much consolidating an event that we did over the summer, so you definitely check all of our media entities to see what we did over the summer.
Got it.
In preparation for what's coming next. The release of an app that's coming to help the schools out.
That's right.
I'm gonna connect you with Homies Environment.
Yes,
Dr. Sistah Cruz for sure.
Let's do it. And please support us. And remember what we said. What we do is what you do. When we're successful, you're successful. Everything we do is about the community and showing love. So just remember that. We love you, Mellow.
I love y'all. Y'all know. And how the Lord allowed us to come back together. We've never separated.
Exactly.
And this is what the other thing that I want to leave us on this in community is that what I believe is that God will make you, give you an opportunity to connect with people. You have to find out why you were connected. It may be for next week. It may be for next month. It may be for the next year. It may be for whatever. The case is, he brought you together. And when it's that time he wants to reveal what it's supposed to be, then at that time he might have revealed something then, whatever. But however, it's there's nothing done by a mistake.
That's right.
I don't believe in that. And I tell the students, there ain't nothing, no coincidences. No, my life ain't no coincidences. Exactly. My life is purposeful. Your life is purposeful. Theirs are. Right. So, like you were saying, what your son is doing, share the name of the business again.
Nexus Nights. That's
Nexus Nights.
NEXUS Nights. And you can I don't have all the links to his Instagram, but search him up. He's on all.
Well, and then his website is nexusnights.org.
Okay.
And you'll be able to find all of this information. Not only a mobile club, but also a party rental business for all of your party needs.
Mobile movie theater, whatever you need.
Whoa. Okay. So I have some, we're going to talk. There's some assignments and projects that I'm doing that we will definitely talk on that.
Excited.
I am excited too. Once again, I want to thank you, community, for having patience with us. And as we say sometimes, like you said in life, if you get knocked down, look, move forward. You said at least fall forward.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we continue to fall forward in this world, because the world can beat us down. But if we continue to stay in community and help each other out as brothers and sisters. When I'm walking down the street and when I see people, that's my brother, that's my sister. And I, as Ubuntu, I see the king and queen in you, and I want you to see the king and queen of whoever it is in me, because we all are worth something here.
And we do. We see
and
you.
I see y'all too. You know this how we do. Hey, and that's who we be. We on fire. That's who we be, baby. So I want to thank y'all again for being on the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. My co-host, the Doc, the Voice, and the Prince of Hearts, and Kells, in their absence on today. I want to thank my guests, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you guys are my brother and sister, and that we continue to heal each other, motivate each other, inspire each other, and we're going to lift ourselves up out of this. And most importantly, we're doing this for the next generation, for our babies. Absolutely. And we know what we do. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I love my family day in Richmond, August 31st. That's where we're going to be. That's the next thing that we're doing. We're out there supporting our family's event. It's Richmond Muslim Mission Center, and it's going to be from 12 to 5. Yeah, 12 to 5. Just showing each other love.
Yeah,
it's all about, when it says I love my family, you come out there with your family. We're taking pictures. We having food. We having guest speakers. We having performers. It's just a day of love.
What day again?
Vendors, August 31st.
Okay.
At the Richmond Marina.
Richmond Marina.
I love my family day.
I love my family.
And that's all it's about.
Come on. Well, we're going to end on that note. I love my family on 1, 2, 3. I love my
family.
family. Yes. Now look, now hold on. You know what? Now I have to say this. Earlier, God said to me, a part of the show is going to be, oh my God, the family matters. The family matters. And then we talked about the
And
whole circle back around to the family matters.
I got chills.
Yeah.
You see
that? Yeah. You know, you ain't gonna tell me twice. Look, but again, community, we want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank Pastor Larry Austin from Elevate Gospel Ministries. Hey, Pastor Larry from Elevate Gospel Ministries. He is a sponsor of this show. BH Bring Your Minds Project Inc. and Education is the Best Medicine and Barbara Howard Consulting. Those are the 4 organizations that is that I want to lift up. And I do want to say, if you have any family members or individuals that's dealing with mental illness, we want to have them reach out to NAMI Contra Costa, the African American Uplift Program. We'll have all the resources and sessions and groups that you would need to connect with. So go on NAMI, Contra Costa website. And again, I want to say good night, community. Be safe, have fun, love on your family, love on your friends, and be safe.